We're the Hares, and we've come to perform for you today. How is everybody doing tonight?
Just play the song!
I say, you got it!
Greetings, and welcome to Interstice Productions. My name is Tyler X Koontz, and you are listening to One Shot Wonders Off Book, an actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast where we play improvised one-shot adventures. Everything you are about to hear was made up and totally improvised. The only thing that was pre-generated was our players' characters, which I had only just seen. For those of you who may be new to D&D, it is a collaborative storytelling gaming experience, where I, the Dungeon Master, along with the help of my players, create the world and what's in it, and the players get to play in it. They describe what they want to do, we roll some dice, and see if they succeed or totally fail. Now I said this is an improv show, and what do you need for improv? Suggestions! For this episode, I will be using suggestions from our players, but hopefully, in the future, we will get our suggestions from our live studio audience. Or perhaps our Patreon members. Can I get a genre?
Fantasy.
Can I get a title of a film, book, or television show?
Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe. Okay, and one more title.
The Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower, all right. What is something you wouldn't want to give your grandpa? Or your grandma. I like that. It's the first time I said grandpa. You okay, or grandpa. What is something you wouldn't want to give your grandma or grandpa?
A whiteboard.
A whiteboard. There you go. Okay, great. So you've heard me spiel a little bit, and now I would very much like my players to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Cade. I go by Leaves99. You can follow me or see anything I have to say on my Twitter or my Twitch under Leaves99. I will be playing Namir, a Harengon bard, which is a small humanoid-like rabbit creature. He is rather happy-go-lucky and outgoing, has a silver tongue, but the downside of that silver tongue is that he kind of doesn't have a filter on what he says and just speaks whatever comes to his mind, whether that's upfront and blunt or offensive. So he has this dynamic of trying to get himself out of situations he inadvertently puts himself into.
Hi there, I'm Thomas. You can look me up on Twitch by searching for Once Upon a Server Studios. I will be playing Dandelion, a male Eladrin rogue. He has long brown hair down to about his shoulders. He has amber gold-coloured eyes and pale skin. He is a happy-go-lucky person, a bit more laid back than some others. Not one to really stand a front and sort of engage in an argument unless it benefits him in some way. More of a gardener for certain, let's say, less than legal herbs than anything else.
All right, and hi, my name's Eddie. I do have some social media. It's find me at Craig from Tech Support, underscores under every word between that. I'll be playing Kelvin Greyshot, the variant human ascendant dragon monk. He doesn't really know when to stop joking sometimes, and that can get him into trouble. He's a bit sarcastic and a little bit chaotic, but he can be useful when it's needed.
I'm Emily. You can find me on Instagram at snowblossom_cosplays. Words. And I will be playing Qiyra, the half-elf wizard. She is tall with long black hair, and she is a very logical person who does not trust people with secrets, but does not know how to keep a secret for her life.
All right. With these suggestions that I got, they can be taken at face value, but they also might just morph into something else. They might be distilled as the sweet, hoppy goodness they are to make some sweet IPA brewedness that not everyone likes, but I seem to love. Anyways, we are going to hop right into it, and we find our players facing down a giant salamander that is next to a dais that on top of it which sits a platform holding a amulet of some kind. And their friendly acquaintance Herbert is standing there next to it, and he's trying to figure out what kind of trap is going on. He's going, yes, hold off the salamander before it devours us all. Can we get initiative rolls?
Okay, I have an initiative of 7.
That is a 23.
12?
And 10 for me.
And it is Kelthin's turn as your members are sort of surrounded this giant salamander who's just sort of left there for what you can see to protect this amulet in this dungeon that you have been delving.
Okay. How far away is this creature?
You are within combat range, or you could get to combat range.
Well, I look around and seeing as how everyone else is still trying to maybe process what is going on. Not look around because he can't see, but just kind of gets a feeling of maybe he should be the one to go first. And I start running at it and try to just land a hit somewhere.
And next will be the salamander, followed by Qiyra and Namir. So just giving you a heads up.
Does a 9 hit?
A 9 will not hit, unfortunately.
Okay. Then
What did you attack with?
he was going to use his draconic strike to hit it.
What would that look like?
He would basically run towards this creature, and as he's recoiling his fist, it starts to frost over with this cold sort of essence. And as he tries to go and hit it, I guess the salamander just moves out of the way. And seeing as how he didn't feel any kind of contact go through, he's going to use his second action to go ahead and try to land another blow.
Gotcha. So yeah, you came up trying to slam the salamander, and it kind of just hopped up on its hind legs with quick responsiveness that you wouldn't think such a large creature would have. And then you follow through, and what was it?
11.
11. You whiff once again as it just sort of hops to the left just in time to avoid your strike. It's the salamander's turn.
I guess if I can do my flurry of blows as my bonus action.
Oh, it is a bonus action. Dang. Okay. Yeah, you can follow up. I guess with that, you're just so angry.
And he's just
whiffing so much.
Yeah, frustrated that he doesn't seem to be hitting whatever it is this thing is. And that's a 27.
Yes, that'll
hit. That's a natural 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a critical hit.
Okay, cool. So with that, seeing as how the first punch didn't go through and he tried to kick it, kind of flying in reverse, I didn't see anything that landed. He's going to hop up and just kind of do several punches up what he assumes is the body or the neck of this thing. And that's going to be 11 points of damage.
Yes, you managed to pop up, and you summon up your sort of frustration and energy into your attack, and you throw out your hands in a flurry of blows, and just sort of speed bag his esophagus, punching him over and over. It howls in pain, but quickly spins around to hit you. 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
His tail reaches around and whips you, dealing 14 damage as it smacks you aside and blasts you. He's going to. I should have said also that as you strike the salamander, your fist igniting flames from the heat off of his body, which looks very cool, but is slightly painful for 2 points of damage.
Okay, I'll do that.
And you are hit by his tail, and then he turns and he spits fire. I think he's spitting fire. I just couldn't figure out what his spear was. He goes and he spits fire at the rabbit, looking Namir, for 12 to hit.
That misses.
And it misses completely, as Namir, as expected of a rabbit-like creature, is so dexterous and nimble. Qiyra, it is your turn.
Okay, having seen his fist set into fire, I am gonna go back towards the back of the group because I want to use a ranged spell, and I'm going to attempt to cast Chromatic Orb with cold damage. Does an 11 hit?
11 will not hit, but you summon this magic well from within you and cast some enchanted words as this ball of cold and ice condenses into a chromatic orb that you then launch out towards the salamander, who, sensing the drop in temperature substantially from his flame-like body, manages to just duck out of the way in time as the cold breeze seems to pass over and extinguish some of the flames that are coalescing around his body. Herbert looks and he goes, "Oh, keep it up, y'all. It's been quite the journey. We are almost there. And I've almost got this puzzle figured out. We need to save the children. Think of the children." Namir, it's your turn, and Scott, you will be on deck.
Herbert, I didn't join this quest to get fried. I'm not looking to be fried rabbit. As I land from my dodge of his flame attack, I yell out to Kelvin, saying, "You'll get him next time," as I bardically inspire him. So you can add a D8 to your next ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Awesome.
And as I land, I pull back my short bow and let one fly attempting to aim at the salamander's eye. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 will hit.
Amazing. And that does 8 piercing damage.
Yes, 8 piercing damage as your arrow slings through the air and hits true right into its eye, almost into its brain. It howls in utter pain and turmoil, and you just see its flames sort of brighten and extend even further, and the fury that must match its inner turmoil. It looks like it's pissed and it's really hurt. It is Scott's turn.
You guys have this. I'll go help Herbert. I am going to scout around the outside with my short swords in hand, heading towards where Herbert is. I want to try to interpose myself between this thing and Herbert if I can.
Oh, okay, yes. Thank you, my boy. Say, can you take a look at this here for me?
I seem to be a thing with more mechanical things. I can have a look.
Let's get an investigation check.
I am absolutely pantsed though. That is a 14.
Yeah, with a 14, you can see that there is, on the pedestal, there's actually these sort of runes, but they actually look not quite like a language or runes. It looks like they actually might make a shape, and you actually just need to, you look closely, and there seems to be little grooves, as if the pieces could move into different places.
Oh, great, a sliding puzzle. Can I attempt to solve, or would that be my next action?
Yeah. Let's say you can attempt to solve it.
Okay, so as I step up to the pedestal a bit, I'll have a quick look around the runes that are there, and as was mentioned, I can see that they move around, and it looks like they slide into like a free slot that's there. So unfortunately, it starts to look like one of those really annoying puzzle games where you can only slide one square at a time around. But it may be turning into the shape of maybe a star or an eye. I can see corners, but I can't really make out what it is at this point.
All right, awesome. I kind of like the eye idea. All right, Kelvin, it's your turn.
Whatever. Potato. I'll, after being hit by this thing on my last turn, like just face first into whatever this dirt ground is, I just get up and in the general direction of my Harangon friend say, "I don't think it's much deep fried, more than just slow roasted, maybe." And I get up, and you see me reach behind me, and there's almost seems to be like this cluster of like thick sticks, and when I lash it out, they all just sort of like form into this quarterstaff looking thing. I turn around, do a bit of a flourish, and then just try to whack it again. 13?
13's not quite gonna do it.
Gosh.
Did you add your bardic inspiration to it?
Oh, the D8, right?
Right.
Hold on. I need...
How did you inspire him again? What did you tell him?
With some encouraging words of, "You can do it next time." Hoping for the best.
Don't die.
That's my encouragement.
You can do it.
Plus 4, so I have 17?
Yes, that does it.
Okay, awesome.
There it is.
So I don't know what area of the body I'm swinging for. I'm just going for it. After he does a really like flashy, unnecessary flourish with the actual staff, he just whacks it somewhere. I will leave that up to you. Good sir.
You smack it across the face with you coming at it with your staff, which subsequently the tip then burst into flames from making contact. You hear a loud crack and its head just snaps to one side. It follows the momentum and swings at you again for 12.
That misses.
You managed to jump just over his tail as he went to sort of attack because you saw it coming this time. You got it. You know what's up. And with him being so hurt and flustered, I'm going to say it's Qiyra's turn. And Namir, you're on deck.
Okay. I am going to move to where there is no one directly between me and the salamander, and we're going to continue along this ice of noticing that he's setting things on fire, and I'm going to attempt to cast Ray of Frost. Does a 20 hit?
Yes, 30.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yes, that definitely hits. Actually, in fact, how do you kill this thing?
Oh, shit.
Well, I cast a kind of growing line of ice crystals growing out of the ground, quickly moving towards the salamander. As the ice gets closer, instead of melting, it seems to just continue growing. And finally, right when it reaches the salamander, it's going to quickly slice up through the chest, and the spike's going to come out the other side.
Awesome. Yes. And you bisect the salamander, its front half. Somehow you pass the point where the magic's forming crystals faster than the fire can melt it, and this spear of ice essentially just goes and bisects the salamander, so its whole front half just slips down this slippery slope of this spear-like feature and slides down in a fount of blood, and then ends up just before your feet. Its mouth gapes open, and its flames die down. Oh, yes, you did it! Yes! Ha-ha!
I'd say Kelvin, being completely oblivious to what just happened, starts just keeps fighting, but is now sparring with the ice crystals. It's just hitting it. It's yeah, I'm getting it, you guys. This is great.
Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, as you're hitting ice crystals.
Kelton.
Good job. You're doing so much damage.
It's never mind.
Yes, it's good to encourage them when when they need the boost. Seems like he really needs this. That's good. So how are we doing over here, Scott? What do we got?
Concentrating. I think it's an eye. I just can't get the middle bit. Anybody else want to have a look at this? I'm good at breaking things, not so much solving them. I can keep trying. I've got no problems.
Have you tried to see if the eye has a vertical orientation? Something more reptilian, like our salamander protector here.
Ah, brilliant. Yes, good. Here, move aside. Let me take a look. Yes. Like the eye of the salamander rising to the fight. And he sort of shifts the symbols into place and they lock, and a magic sort of barrier around the amulet disintegrates in a burst of particles. And he looks around. Yes. Oh, finally. The Eye of Solace that can take me to worlds beyond my magical dreams. Yes. And he goes and he grabs the amulet, and you hear the soft, familiar voice of your friendly acquaintance who has led you on this journey to which was supposed to help heal the sick within this town that he has come from, turn to a dark, menacing laughter as he drops a shroud of illusion, and you see not a dainty older gentleman, but a massive sort of sorcerer with like pointy armor, sort of a Sauron kind of feel, and he goes, "You have done well to help grant my wildest dreams, but I must go now." He puts his foot onto this tile, which apparently was a trap meant to keep people from getting the amulet, and he actively sets it off. Everyone, you hear a click. Make a dexterity save.
You're going to hear a very loud, audible sigh from Scott first.
I'm real good at those.
That is a 17.
I also got a 17.
23.
And 20.
Oh, yeah, you all managed to save as the ground starts to rumble. These spikes appear above the chamber, and they all shoot down. What do you do to avoid these spikes that just they just shoot? They're probably almost like a person round and meant to like impale somebody in one go. And they seem to be hitting everywhere except for the dais itself.
Is Herbert, or who was Herbert, is he still in the room, or did he leave after
He's at the dais.
Is there like a person gap between two of them?
Yes.
Even if it's a bit of a squeeze?
Yeah.
Okay, I will jump up and sort of crab step between two, arms and legs on each one.
Brilliant.
With my nimbleness and jumping ability, or innate jumping ability, I actually just jump straight for Herbert. Just a solid leap right at him to where I know there's no spikes coming down.
Perfect. Qiyra?
I'm gonna just like kind of sidestep-ish out of the way of the spikes and continue along once, like following the gaps.
All right, so you, with your keen wizard senses and eyes, you can tell the exact directory, and you do like all these wizardy math things in the back of your brain. It looks like that meme of that girl going through all the equations, but effortlessly. And then you just like take a simple, like effortless step to the right and just narrowly avoid a spike. And then Kelthin.
So you all see that I haven't moved yet, and the spikes are coming down, and whenever they come within at least like 10 feet of me, almost like a spider sense type of thing, I move right up against where the body of the salamander is, and the spike just barely misses where I'm at.
So Namir jumps toward quote Herbert unquote, and as he's flying through the air, it's almost in slow motion that you see Herbert use the amulet. He holds it up, and suddenly a beam of light shoots forward and opens a sort of oval purple portal. And he turns just in time to see Namir coming bounding towards him. And Namir, do a dex save. No, do a dex check. Just dex, straight dex check.
18.
18. You manage to curl your shoulder into the perfect sort of tackle push thing, but it like shoves him, and he goes flying backward, and he goes through the portal, and you almost end up going through with him, but stop just at the precipice.
Whew.
And y'all are safe and out of combat.
Cool.
I'll hop down. I'll just dust myself off. Strange man, magic amulet. Should have seen it coming.
Oh, the portal before you was still there, but you see that it's slowly starting to dwindle. The dais begins to lower into the pedestal on the dais begins to lower into the dais and locks in place. Suddenly, the whole temple is shaking and trembling, and you get the sense that it's going to fall down. The door slams closed, and there is no way out of this chamber.
Two options, spirally portal of possible doom or certain doom. Which one?
Probably the portal.
I peek my head out from beside the spike and be like, what's happening?
This way. I will just stride through the portal.
And I'll hop in behind him.
I'm just gonna follow.
You are transported through this sort of illuminated tunnel. It's like as if you're going at the speed of light. It's very hyperspace-esque feeling when all of a sudden you are spit out and you hit this hard sort of rock or stone that's black and make a dex save.
Oh no. I nat
That's
1.
Oh no.
24.
2.
That's a 9.
24, 2.
God.
In that case, can I combat roll to make myself stable as everyone just sort of falls out?
Yeah. If you want, what did you say? You wanted to combat roll and then try and catch people?
I'll try to pick people up as they fall.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So the two that saved very dexterously just like hit the ground and tumble. Meanwhile, Namir face plants onto the ground for 1 damage, and then seemingly is smushed by a falling Qiyra right behind him, who just falls butt first onto him for 1 damage as well. Both to Qiyra and Kate, so total of 2 for Namir. When suddenly you are affronted by a cacophony of these sort of horn-like noises, wah, 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 and there are blinding lights that are suddenly in your eyes, and you look about, and there are these huge metal structures that almost look like a sort of self-propelling carriage, and you have been transported to the real world.
Am I about to be hit by a truck?
Yes, one of these carriages swerves in around the other one and is heading straight for you. What do you do?
I'm going to grab the 2 people that are on the floor and try to yank them out of the way of the oncoming truck.
Let's make an athletics check or a strength check.
I'm going to go with athletics. Because surprisingly, I'm proficient in that for some reason. That is a 16.
There you go. Yeah, that you managed to pull them out of the way just in time as this large truck just goes by. Go back to the Renaissance Fair, you assholes!
Don't know what that was, but it was incredibly rude.
Kelvin's still standing in the middle of what is, I'm assuming, meant to be the road. Just like in between lanes, just kind of like...
Yes.
What is this honking? What is happening? Where are we right now?
Kelvin, walk towards my voice.
What?
Walk towards my voice.
You try to gauge where you're at.
Over
and
here.
Almost get run over by a car, and then like...
Yeah, cars are slowly just starting to like go around everybody, unless Scott like pulled them off to like the side of the road. There's like a little park, and the rest is sort of make a perception checks, everybody.
Oh boy.
Perception.
I got a 26.
A 17.
That's fitting. That's a 9.
8. I looked into the lights of a truck. I can't see.
Yes, you're blinded.
I can't see regardless.
Okay, so those that aren't blinded by the lights see that it's a very industrial. It's a city, much like New York, but it's a very busy city. And with the 26, you can also see that Herbert appears to be there. You see him in front of some sort of cart stand, and he's like pointing to these long oval-shaped things that are surrounded by bread, and he's like questioning this sort of merchant behind the cart about something.
What does it smell like to me?
What did you roll?
I rolled a 9.
9? You can't, they're like across the street. You're on the other side of the street. All you can smell is sort of the general trash smell that's kind of in New York City. It smells like depression. I don't know.
Awesome.
Guys, Herbert, I only get made a fool of once or twice, and this is the second time he's made me look like a fool. He's over there, as I point over to where the stand is selling the food.
And he goes, huh? What? He turns, Herbert sees y'all, and he casts a spell, and the cart lifts up into the air and flies across the street towards y'all. Kelvin, you notice as the cart's coming towards you, the waft of like some meat that is the most enticing meat you have ever smelled in your life. It's juicy, plump, aromatic, and unique.
And as it's flying towards us, do I roll with disadvantage because I'm distracted by the hot dog?
Yeah, make a wisdom save.
It's beautiful. Smack.
That was almost an 18, but it's a 4, so it's a 6.
Oh no.
You are too distracted by the hot dogs to get out of the way of the cart or whatever.
You
this
say he's
beautiful-
over there. I turn in the general direction, and I just sort of like, huh. Just get completely railed by this thing.
You are smashed by the cart for, let's say, 10 damage as Herbert takes off down the road. He goes down an alleyway. What would you all like to do?
I would like to sprint and bonus action dash after him.
Okay, so you're following him down the road, and you end up at this small little alleyway that has this door that you see Herbert open, and he slides inside. So you get in there a moment later, and as you get into this facility, all of a sudden you are confronted by crowds of people all going around, and they're holding drinks. Some of them are smoking these sticks of some kind, and there's like a bit of rowdiness, and you see there's like a stage that's lit up in the foreground or something like that. And then Namir, as you come in, suddenly a person comes by and grabs you, and he goes, "Hey, you're late. What are you? Bad hair day? You're supposed to be on in 5 minutes."
Yes, and I run over to wherever he leads me.
And he's like, "Is this the rest of your band?"
Yeah. This is us. We're known as the Hares.
All right, get on up there, and they're getting rowdy. We need something.
The what? Excuse
now.
me.
It appears we're musicians now.
Follow this way. From the stage, we should be able to see Herbert.
That's a good plan.
I say, just follow my lead. I've been a part of bands my whole life. As I pull out from my backpack a much larger than would seem fit into the backpack loot and prepare to go up on stage and play.
I hate to tell you, but I've never been good at sight reading.
Hope you can play enough instruments for 4 of us.
As I, in response to that comment, pull out 3 more instruments from my backpack, handing them to each of the members.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
What instruments do you pull out? What do they have? It's like a.
So I will have a lute. I give Kelthin a whistle stick, which is basically just a flute. I hand Scott a hand drum, and then hand Qiyra a harp.
All right, there you go.
Interesting.
I'm just going to look at Kira's harp. No trading. Fine.
Are you sure about
I'll
that?
take the drum. You can take the harp.
So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna start with Namir, and then I'm gonna kind of go. He's gonna take the lead, and then I'm gonna go in order of our last initiative order. And you tell me what you want to do. Are you going to attempt to play the instrument, which will do a performance check? Do you want to use any of your other skills and wager that it somehow helps in whatever you're doing, but let's say the main goal is you're trying to find Herbert, and you're trying to appease the crowd who's getting rowdier and rowdier. You go, come on, play something. We had to pay $5 cover here. We demand to be entertained. Yeah. You hear some glasses begin to break. Everyone's getting rowdy. All right, Namir, what do you do?
I pull up the mic, and I assume there's a sound panel below me, and I turn everybody else down just a little bit since they're not as comfortable with it, and say, okay guys, follow my lead. Hello, we're the Hares, and we've come to perform for you today. How is everybody doing tonight?
Just play the song.
I say, you got it, and point at the man in the front, and I rolled a 21 for my performance.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you want to get it? Like, what are you kind of laying down, or we can just say, yeah, with the 21, you start laying down a sick sort of intro rhythm that's getting everyone to start bopping their head. Did you want to explain any more, maybe, or?
It's basically just a kind of folky type vibe to it, very almost campfire-esque, is to try to build everybody up into it and hopefully give enough of a lead and intro for everyone else to join.
All right. Very good. Next is Scott.
I will say it's a hand drums, and I cannot play anything. So I will attempt maybe to do some. I don't know, some side dancing of somewhat using acrobatics to try to inspire a bit more cheering.
All right, do it. Yeah, let's check it out.
That is a dirty 20.
Yeah. Okay. What do you do? What are you doing? What exactly?
I will sort of feign attempting to play this strange round instrument I've been given, and I will, I don't know, peacock up and down the stage a little bit, trying to do some prancing and whatnot, just to make it look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, do a flip.
I will do a flip.
No.
And the guys, everyone just goes, yeah! All right. And it is Kelthin's turn.
You gave me this stick, and I've never seen a flute before, let alone played one, and I don't know what to do with it. So I'm just there and just kind of like walk around a bit, like awkwardly, like Blue Man Group kind of thing.
Okay.
And I feel lost on what to do, and I just, okay, I think I know how to get his attention. If anybody looks weird up at us, we'll know it's probably Herbert. Just follow my lead. And I'll just, like, be very showy about it, and then just put my arms out, tilt my head up, and a cone of fire shoots out of my mouth.
Pyrotechnics.
Yeah. Let's do a... Go ahead and... Does it have like a sort of attack roll for the draconic breath or whatever you're doing?
No, just... It has to be a 13 dexterity check.
13 dexterity check. Okay,
I'm not aiming it at anything, and hopefully I don't hit anything.
Let's roll one of your better stats check to see if you can control it enough that you don't light anything on fire accidentally.
Just to
Please
check?
don't.
Yeah, just a straight check, not a save, but just a check of whatever ability you would justify.
Well, let's go with not performance.
No, your dexterity is pretty good, +4. Let's just make a dexterity check.
Okay.
Let's try and time it with the backflip.
Right as he lands the fire.
Nines this entire time. It's another 9.
9. All right, so you put your head back and you blow flames, and everyone's just like, "Whoa! How did you do that?" Make a perception check, or everyone can make a general perception check if you're trying to keep an eye out for Herbert.
That is a 23.
Scott, you do notice an older gentleman kind of going through the crowd. It's good old, it's Herbert in his illusionary form trying to mix and mingle with the crowd. He's like the only person that didn't bother to look up as this flame hit the roof. So you spout flames a little too intently, and it catches on some old cobwebs. There's a little flame up in the roof now, but people generally haven't, like, one person backs like, "The roof's on fire," and everyone goes, the roof is on fire. And everyone starts chanting, and they're just like digging this performance so far, and they don't realize they might be in imminent danger. It is Qiyra's turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna be kind of awkwardly attempting to play the harp, and then at seeing the roof now on fire, also attempting to awkwardly cast Chromatic Orb again to put out the fire.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do your attack roll. I'll set it at a pretty low ability check.
A 10.
Yes, that'll do it. I was gonna make a 10. So go ahead and try and describe this cool scene. I kind of imagine you guys are maybe starting to wrap up on your song a little bit, and you're getting to this like huge kind of crescendo, and let's take it home.
So with us slowly reaching the climax of the song, I'm going to shoot up the orb where it probably kind of looks like snow's falling a bit, and then as it hits the flame, it's going to kind of burst into a thing of steam, and water's going to start falling down on us.
And it's almost as if the sprinkler system came on, but everybody's just like soaking it in and like loving it. They're getting wet and sloppy, and they're just like, yeah, and they're like, hair, or whatever. And then, but you notice the owner's coming up on stage, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing in my club? What the hell? What is going on here? Get off my freaking stage!"
As you
Everyone
say
run
that, I'm
for
like,
it.
we've been the hares! And I like jump into the crowd completely. I've lost all sense of Herbert. I've been so distracted by this. I rolled a nat 1 for my perception earlier. I'm completely in performance mode.
Yeah, you jump into the crowd and you
Crowd
start crowd surfing. Yeah, they're pulling you back. And y'all see Namir like taking off towards the back of the audience, and the crowd's getting rowdy with the water pouring and everything, and they starting to mosh and push people around. Bar stools are starting to get tipped over, glasses are starting to break and whatnot. And being in a new land, a new territory, and all that's like transpired today, Kelthin, this is starting to kind of bring back these weird kind of memories. All of a sudden, you're getting a little, your anxiety is kind of hitting peak things, and you start having sort of like flashbacks of this war that you were in back in the day, and it's just kind of coming up to you. Like, what are you perceiving? Like, how does this kind of go into your brain? Like,
So I do it, and then as all this is transpiring, I hear like the crowd starting to like yell and scream, but I don't recognize it as something good. And it almost seems to kind of like flash between the sounds of a village that's burning with people screaming everywhere. There are people around me, and I just feel like I can't move. But in real time, all of y'all can see that he's just sort of frozen there, and the scars that are underneath the wrappings that are like over his eyes start to glow like a fire, very faintly, but they don't look like scars anymore. They're just slowly starting to glow brighter and brighter.
so we have Namir heading back towards the facility. We have a arguing manager at you guys, Scott and Qiyra. You see your comrade Kelthin sort of having this like crisis right now, and Herbert is trying to make it his way through the squeezing crowd to get out of there. What would you like to do?
Because of the yelling manager, I'm going to approach Kelthin and kind of like wave my hand in front of his eyes, knowing that's probably not going to work, but we're going to try it anyways. See if he gives any response at all. Do you give a response?
Make I think that would be some kind of wisdom save, wisdom check.
That is a 12.
I think I was going for 13. That's just under. So he's not acknowledging your wave.
Okay, so
Can I guess just for a bit of flavor, can I say that I do?
Okay.
That I don't recognize that it's her.
Okay, yeah, go.
I'm still in my in my little like flashback of PTSD. I notice that someone's there, but I think that it's someone trying to attack me.
Okay.
So you see me react, and my hand goes for whatever sort of the collar
Let's make
of your shirt.
Oh, okay. Dexterity save, Qiyra.
okay.
Make a contested. Do a strength check.
Okay.
That is a nat 20 on my end.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right, so you totally see his arm shoot out and come at you. Yeah. So what do you do as he reaches out in a sort of aggressive way?
I would like to jump to the side and then grab at his wrist to try and quickly grab or drag him off the stage, because we are kind of on the crunch of trying to find Herbert and avoiding the very angry manager.
Okay, I'll say, so he reaches out to sort of like grab you. You manage to twist to the side, and you do one of those cool, like use his momentum and weight against him to sort of like flip him end over end onto his back, and he smacks on the stage, and then you instantly just start dragging him and jump off the stage, and he's kind of like do as he like hits the end of the stage and then hits the floor, and you're just like bouncing out of there. Or okay, how is that affecting you, Kelthin? You make a wisdom save. Actually, how about that? Make a wisdom save.
Wisdom?
Yeah.
That's an 11.
Not quite. You're still kind of in this weird trance-like thing, but I don't know how you're perceiving. How are you perceiving getting this?
In my head, I could see these robed individuals that I, for some reason, can't see any of their features under these robes. And as I try to grab one, which I thought I successfully did, I feel something heavy just hit me in the back of the head.
So you're kind of in a almost unconscious state at this point, by being dragged around.
Just a little bit.
Let's check in with Scott. What's going on with you? What do you see that kind of transpire? Namir's still just having a grand old time.
In the background, I'm still going.
Qiyra's dragging unconscious Kelthan.
Right. And I can see the manager is walking up towards us with a bit of an angry scowl, and I can see that Herbert is on the other side of the audience? Or is
he's just about getting out of the crowd and trying to head out what you could assume is like the front door.
Okay, I am going to face the sort of the manager that's coming towards us, and I'm going to be walking backwards, sort of between Qiyra and him, just sort of being behind end of the queue as he's dragging him off. And going, hey, it's been a bit of a rough evening. I remember we stated in our show guide that we needed the stage to be a little bit higher, but that's not a problem. Any issues? Can you just take it up with our manager? And I'm going to point at Herbert over there. If there's any damages, just put them on him. He covers us for anything along those lines.
All right, let's do that with that would be deception or performance, whatever you think you're kind of more doing.
That is a 17 deception.
That'll do it. A 17 will definitely do it. He goes, I'll definitely talk to that manager over there. Hey, boys. He whistles, and the two bodyguards that are nearby, he's like, get that guy. And they go over to grab Herbert, and he casts this sort of thunderclap. And all of a sudden you see the guys get flown back off to the side. The crowd in back gets pushed forward, and Namir kind of like slides down, like they kind of fall in a slump and make a hill of people that Namir kind of like joyfully slides down to the ground.
Just like on my knees, embracing it, just going.
Just goes with it into like a final pose where he then like strikes a final chord of the lute and just like again it takes in the applause and chaos around him. And he's kind of, Herbert stalls for a moment after just expending this amount of energy to do such a magic, and takes a glance back and smirks. What would you all do? He's about to head out the door.
How far is he away?
The club is, he's within 30 feet.
Can I, in the whole commotion of this, hopefully nobody notices, bonus action Misty Step to between him and the door?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Nice.
I will do
Could
that.
I make another wisdom save
Yes, you can.
after that thunder wave happens?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a 13.
Yes, that'll do it. You snap to with that thunderous clap of sound that comes through, and you're shaken out of your sort of trance, and you see Qiyra dragging you, and sort of she maybe notices you kind of come to for a second and looks back down at you.
Yeah, so you're just dragging me by the arm, and I look like I'm starting to react, and the scars have dimmed down back to their regular coloration. At this point, I'm just letting you drag me. It's like, I do have legs. I mean, I'm enjoying this, but yeah.
Good, then use them.
You reach Herbert, Scott, and what do you do?
I am going to get between him and the door so he can't just walk out. And I'm just going to look down in his form at the moment, because I believe you owe at least one of our compatriots some therapy. Please make your way back in the club. I will try with the softly approach first.
Make a persuasion check.
Nope, that'll be an 8.
No, yeah, he definitely does not go with, oh, sure, yeah, that'll be, no.
While this is going on, can I make another perception check to see if I can kind of get out of my performance vibe, I guess, and start gathering?
Do a vibe check.
Where is everyone?
Vibe check.
There we go.
Yes.
Where is everyone? Where are my pants? And why am I outside?
That's a 21.
Yeah, you notice the chaos going on around you, and you see your friend on the ground next to Qiyra, and you notice Scott over by Herbert. Herbert turns to cast lightning bolt at Kelthan and Scott, and hoping to hit as many of y'all as possible.
Could I use my reaction now that I am finally perceiving the situation properly and dispel magic?
Yes, so you see all of a sudden a crackling form of energy start to coalesce into Herbert's hand as he's about to do this bolt of lightning, and you came to and saw just in time to see this happen.
As I get up, I'm like, oh, and I hit another strum onto the lute, and you see this kind of greenish bluish, like multicolored energy fly towards where Herbert's hand is and hit it, and it just poof into like a musical note hits. And it's like, and just disappears.
Yes, your musical harmony disharmonizes his magic and creates a beautiful, harmless melody. And Herbert looks quite perplexed. I will, if you want, Scott, you can do something to him as a surprise round.
So as he's turned around to cast, I would just like to... How far would you say that that the other two are sort of through the crowd at this point?
You've gone to the other side. I said like 30 feet, so everyone else is about 20 feet back.
I would like to... Let's make this a bit easier. I would just like to sort of Spartan kick him back towards the other two.
Okay, yeah.
I am not a strong character, but I will try.
Do it.
Would that just be a strength, I assume, yes?
Yeah, let's just do that.
That is a 16.
Oh, yeah, that'll...
It wants it to work.
Nice.
You Spartan kick him back, and so everyone else is kind of still on the other side of the crowd, and what happens is... as he falls backwards, he actually gets caught in a mosh pit. And next thing you know, he's just being tossed around left to right. He's getting kicked in the groin, punched in the face, and it's just like gotten really gnarly and brutal. You may not even have to do anything more than that, but settle down the crowd perhaps to grab him. What would y'all like to do?
He's in there, by the way, guys. Point towards the moving mass of people.
To keep the mosh pit going, I just continue to play. I'm just right back into it like I was before.
Yeah, you start amping up everybody and getting it worse and worse until there's a large bang. Everyone like stops and gets down, and it's the club owner, and he's got this shiny metal. It's a gun. He's got a gun in his hand, and he's shot in the air. And it's like, everybody needs to get out of the dark tower right now. And then everyone just goes, okay, well, and they all clamor and they get out of the way. And there is a broken, bruised, and battered, unconscious Herbert on the ground clutching the medallion.
Okay.
I slow my play down a little bit. I haven't completely stopped. It's still just like it's almost like a background music at this point. It's not taking the lead, but it's still there.
Well, the owner goes, now you're gonna pay for the damages, or we're gonna have a problem here. And I don't know. I'll take like a finger or something. I'm crazy. You don't know me.
I point at Herbert, or quote Herbert.
Oh, your manager here. Yeah. Oh, look. Yeah, this looks... He's, like, mesmerized all of a sudden by this shiny golden amulet. And he's, like, his eyes sort of, like, get huge. And he reaches down, and he picks it up, and he looks at it. And then all of a sudden, it blinks out of existence.
We're sure this thing's not cursed,
is
right?
the amulet still there?
No, the amulet's gone.
You can see that Kelvin was, like, this close to whacking him in the back of the head with his staff. Before he blipped out of existence, be like, damn it.
And that's where we'll leave our adventurers for today.
Well, dang. Well, at least we have a club now.
Is that how it works?
Sounds like the Dark Tower is ours now.
One Shot Wonders Off Book is produced by Interstice Productions. Today's episode starred Tyler X Koontz as your Dungeon Master, Emily, the Lunawolf, as Qiyra, Thomas Bethel as Dandelion, Eddie, the Sirius, as Kethlin Greyshot, Cade Griffin as Namir, the Harrigan Bard. More details about our cast and where to find their social media can be found in the descriptions. If you want to help support our productions and join our community, check out our Patreon, where you can join our Discord, give suggestions for future episodes, get early ad-free episodes, and get entered into our shout-out pool. Interstice Productions, where worlds collide.